Hello, everybody. I'm CJ Sanders. I'm your host of the Shade of the Piney Woods podcast. We are a podcast of raw, unfiltered stories, testimonies, and so forth from myself and from guests. Today you get me. You guys need to understand, though, that this podcast does contain sensitive subjects. It is not suitable for all viewers, and listening discretion is advised. I just wanted to share with you guys, we have an upcoming Lifetime trip. And so I wanted to talk about it a little bit, because once we start the trip, I will share videos and things like that and pictures as we're going around on my social media. And I'd like for you guys to join me and get to do this experience with me as well. So my mother did genealogy back in the day before we had the computers. Like, I grew up going to cemeteries and going to old people's house that we were related to that would tell stories about their great-grandparents and things like that. So my mama did it old school. I unfortunately do not have all that paperwork anymore. I have the beginning part of her paperwork. Right before she passed away, she had moved a friend in that we had known forever, and he was an alcoholic. And at some point, he was drinking and said something to her about all of that paperwork. And she took it outside and caught it on fire and burned it. I come up to visit. I was not living with her then. I was grown and married with my own kids. And I pulled up and I was like, "What? Why are you burning all those boxes?" And she was like, "Well, Jean said yada, yada, yada." And I was like, "What are you doing?" I went out there to try to see if I could salvage anything, but there really wasn't anything to salvage. My family's batshit crazy. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just, to do that, that's insane. It was decades and decades and decades of work that she just burned. And I have one folder where she had started the process. Anyway, because she had done all of this, she had done enough research to know that the Grogan side of her family, which is her mother's side of the family, so my Mama Lucille's side of the family, in Wexford, Ireland, they have a castle, which is now a museum. Has been a museum for several years. It's called Jonestown Castle. That was like I don't even remember how many generations back, 1700s, 4 or 5 generations, something like that. Great uncle's Cornelius Grogan's castle. And then he was beheaded during the rebellion, and it went over to his brother. And yada yada. Y'all get the gist. I'm not going to break it down that much. Anyway, I've always wanted to go. I thought it'd be really cool. My family's got a castle. And then when my mom passed away, I was going through her things in her filing cabinet, and I found a file with maps in it because she wanted to travel. She wanted to be a stewardess, but they told her she was a little too big and she couldn't do that. But, we never had any money to travel to the block down the block. So she sure didn't have the money to travel out of the country or anywhere else, really. Anyway, my brother's traveled a lot overseas, and I had given him the maps, and I think he had hit some of the places that she had in there. But one of her maps was of Ireland. And so, of course, Wexford Castle is marked on her little map. Excuse me. Anyway, so I had been saying for a while that we wanted to go. And so Bill is going to get to do a presentation in Belfast. And I was like, I want to ride the shirt tails of this. If you're going over there, what if I pay for my ticket and my stay, and I go over there, and then when you get done with that, we go see Ireland. So that's what we're doing. We leave in 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Actually, I don't know that we're going to post this.
We'll be there in 2 weeks.
We'll be there in 2 weeks. I don't think we're going to post this today. I think we're going to post this at the end of the week.
Like before we leave?
Yeah. Anyway, you get the deal. So we're about to leave and go to Ireland. My brother is going with us. His daughter is actually going to join us about halfway during the trip. We're going for 15 days. Mm-hmm. And so she'll be for the bottom half. So we're going to fly into Dublin, go up to Belfast, and then we're just going to hit the West Coast. And then we're going to go to Wexford, and we're getting a private tour of the Jonestown Castle. I'm really excited about that. They are actually doing renovations on the church, and so we're going to get to be let in there and see where they are with that. And then we're going to get to see the cemetery where my ancestors are buried. And then we're actually going to run a race in Ireland on
north of Dublin.
And so that's going to be scenic and beautiful. And so I will share videos and things like that. You guys be sure to follow me on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. And so I'm just really excited about that. I think Facebook and Instagram, I can't remember my handles exactly on that. If you go to shadeofthepineywoods.com, my social media is there. You can just click on it and follow. And then, I don't know, it's really great. I'm pretty excited about this trip. I hate that my mom is not here to go because I know she would absolutely love it.
Are we bringing the map with us?
Tim is trying to find it because some of his stuff is packed up because, they had some flooding in North Carolina and stuff. And so some of his stuff is packed up. So he's hoping that he can put his hands on it before we leave. It'd be great to go into Ireland with that map and see what all she has pinpointed. But even without that, to be able to get on the plane and go is going to be pretty awesome. And so, anyway, you guys be sure to follow so that you can keep up with us as we do all this. I'm going to try to take in as much as I can without my phone in my hand, but I also want to share all of this, and I want to get footage that we can use in later, podcast episodes and stuff as well. And so it's pretty exciting. I think that's all I was going to share.
Yeah, just really good.
Trip in Ireland and yay. Anyway. So you guys be sure to go and subscribe to YouTube because I'll be posting on YouTube as well. All right, I'm CJ Sanders. I'm your host of Shade of the Piney Woods. Thanks for joining me. That's it.
All right. And cut.